a top 16 match here of the Smogon Tour 23 playoffs between Blunder and Good Candies, also known as Alexander. So I will do my best with my currently limited Sun and Moon knowledge, S&M knowledge, am I right? Um, and that is going to transform on the second turn of the game because he had no better switch. Wouldn't Celesteela? I guess it could be offensive Celesteela if it's Sticky Web. Anyway, the thing that happened on the first turn was that Blunder led with Latios against Shuckle, and Alexander absorbed the trick with Gengar, and they switched Scarves, and then Gengar Shadow Balled the Greninja switch, and now we're here. So Manaphy's in, Ash Greninja is transformed, ready to Dark Pulse the shit out of everything. Um, I so Manaphy is pretty rare in Sun and Moon, except for things like Sticky Web or a Ninetales offense, Alola Ninetales, which I think is awesome. I wish someone would bring it. But, sorry, I'm just unloading my chicken farm. Anyway, so with Latios and a Sophists Tangrowth and a possible Sophists Magearna around, then it's not going to be getting much done. I mean, Draco won't kill, and he'll Shadow Ball or Ice Beam it back, but it'll put it in Greninja range, and I think that's something he's accepted. Because he can handle a late game Scarf Chomp, I think. With Tangrowth and Mew and Zygarde and possibly a Shuka on Magearna. Plus the fact that, Outrage does nothing to it, literally, because it's a fairy. And I really want to pronounce it Magiarna, but it's Magearna, unfortunately. Alright, so Dark Pulse killing. If he goes Garchomp, then he's going to have to double switch to Shuckle, I think, in order to get anything done. Because Blunder has like a million fat Pokemon he can just toss into. I mean, not a million, he's going to have to go to Tangrowth, but if he just thuds against it, then it's going to be ungood. Blunder has lost his Defog, but it's not like speed is a huge deal at this point with his bulky pokes. So in comes Celesteela, I'm going to assume it's Automatize. So, with Supersonic Sky Strike, it can punch the shit out of Tango, so I'm not sure. But it seems like Mew, which generally runs either some funky defog shit, or but generally rocks Will-O-Wisp Psychic Roost, then it seems like Mew is a pretty safe bet to switch into it here. So. Chicken parm is delicious, guys. Okay, so Kartana's a threat, but let me calc Water Shuriken against it because Kartana is like the frailest Pokemon ever. Water Shuriken does, oh my god, 76.4 to 90.3, so yeah. Yep, he does switch in Mew, Mew gets up rocks, in comes Shuckle. On Air Slash. Greninja comes back before the Sticky Web goes down. I'm going to fire off some Dark Pulses, see what happens. Or just Hydro Pumps, actually, I'm sorry. Because Shuckle probably shrugs off Hydro. Or Dark Pulse, sorry. And Shuckle gets Contrary? What the fuck? Anyway, Shuckle doesn't get that Para move, does it? Nuzzle? No. It gets Infestation, which I also don't remember what it does because it's nonsense. So, Hydro murders everything at this point, so he's just gonna get that down. And, his, yeah, frail-ass team against the Specs Greninja. That's just brutal. He gets up rocks. Any chip is good chip, but I think Blunder seems to be heavily favored here. Here comes a Scarf Chomp. I think he probably keeps it around for, with rocks, then there's a chance. No, there's no chance to kill Kartana. after rocks. Sorry about that. But at the same time, oh, it's not even specs. It's mega. So he tanks that hydro. Whoops. I wonder if anything embarrassing popped up there. I hope not. Like my porn stash sometimes does. Anyway, so does Garchomp, Mega Garchomp get a Spadef boost? I don't think it does. No, it doesn't. So just regular Garchomp would have tanked that. Oh no, it does get a Spadef boost. I'm sorry. It gets so yeah, it didn't need that to tank. He's not gonna get an EQ crit. He gets burned. Not sure why I didn't just psychic, but you know, not a big deal, I guess. Plus, he did have like E-Speed Zygarde in case of. Well, actually, nice move Swords Dancing there, knowing he won't die to burn. Very nice, but Blunder's just gonna soft boil the next one off. I guess he wanted to stay at high health. Yeah, good move by Blunder there, definitely. Better than just Psychicking. Now, then he would be in range for Kartana, perhaps. And yeah, so that was much better. I mean, a miss would have sucked. It wouldn't have been over, but it would have put him in a tough position. But yeah, it would have been about if. Well, I'm pretty sure Zygarde can tank a hit from Celesteela. And Magearna, definitely. That even without an Assault Vest. So Celesteela, let's. I'm gonna assume the Automatized Sweeper is the. Yeah, that's modest. And against Zygarde with. Yeah, Supersonic Sky Strike is. Yeah. Alright then. Well. Anyway, here comes Kartana, who's gonna get burned. Night Slash will not come close to KOing, even with Kartana's stupid attack. Because Mew is just monstrous. And there goes Blunder. Poor guy. Well, he had a good run. Anyway, we're gonna wait for him to come back. Man, Sun and Moon had some great music, but this was not an example of it. But I picked it because it sounds gay and fits with Blunder. But, man. Who spills Coke in 2017? This is bullshit. Okay, they are going to want to turn that timer off. Or there's going to be a fiasco. Yeah, we're gonna have a recreate. No, never mind. Someone turned it off at the last possible second. I love competence. Anyway. Okay, we're back. Yeah, that was exciting. No dodge, no Kartana probably gets like O-Code 6 times by Mew Psychic because it's got like 2 defense, so. As you can see, that is a clear O-Code 6 times over. But yeah, this game is pretty over. I mean, well, actually, you might want to preserve the Mew just for minimal bullshit against Celesteela, I guess. And Tangrowth seems like a good switch, regardless, and doesn't do shit against Celesteela, so. Leaf Blade, no crit. Wow, that does a lot. Holy shit. No Bloom Doom. God, the Z-move names are so cool for the most part. Sticky Web is one of the dominant strategies in Sun and Moon right now, but as far as I'm aware, most of the time it's with Smeargle. Not really familiar with Shuckle. And it's got like Zygarde and shit. It was popularized by our man, No Justice, No God. Oh fuck, I said it wrong, didn't I? Whatever. Yeah, I would go Tangrowth than Zygarde E-Speed. Oh my god, how do I do it? That does a lot, my god. But I assume it's Assault Vest, so. They have to get a cooler animation for all-out pummeling. They really do. No flinch. I know it wouldn't normally be this silent, but I hope it's self-explanatory that this does not require a lot of analysis. I guess he's trying to flinch it down into range for Supersonic. Wait, no, he can't use Supersonic Sky Strike. He just used all-out pummeling. Well, then that's that, I guess. Alright, Blunder won this, so we're not going to stick around because the Oris game started, and that is something that I can comment on efficiently. Alright, so Alexander's continuing with the style of risky offense, or, frailer offense at least. Which sounds funny when he had a Celesteela, but... so, he's got Klefki, and Orlando, and then a bunch of really frail Pokemon. I guess if it's Zardex, it's not frail, but like, you know what I mean? Like, what on his team really switches in to take hits from things that, like, except for very specific things. Whereas Blunder's team is tanky and hits hard. So, I don't really love the hyper offense style in Oris. I think it's way too risky, and the payoff is not good at all. So. We're going to see a Zard lead against Metachan the Broken. So, free Fake Out. Are we going to see I wonder if Alexander... No, he's going to Mega to take less fake out damage. That still is so fucking much better. It's ridiculous. Poor Zardex is one of the more threatening Pokemon to this team. Scarf Excadrill. And T-Wave Rotom does help. And if the Clef is bold, then it might as well. And of course, Fake Out from Medicham never hurts. But Zardex is definitely one of the more threatening pokes. I was wondering if he wanted to, whatchamacallit, say Unmega'd to leave his, I guess on a team like this, it was obviously with Zardex. It pairs well with Bisharp, and Zard Y is just not going to, I mean, it's fine, but Zardex just makes more sense as a sweeping threat, especially when it's backed up by Bisharp, you know, when they're both trying to really just beat down their physical wall. Then Lando doesn't really switch into Bisharp, but something like... Actually, I'm not sure. Like, it would seem, oh wow, Outrage, T-Wave, there goes Zard. No Healing Wish on that team. And I was going to Volt Switch into Clef and get up some rocks. So, Blunder's looking good already. Anyway, I mean, first thing to say, I guess, is Hippo, but Hippo isn't really that good. I guess they do synergize well with that, but it's Hippo, man, so... And, I guess, wearing down Keldeo doesn't hurt. And Outrage Zardex is awesome, but just outraging like that in the second turn of the game, not good. And see, like, this... Like, a Blunder's team, if it took a hit like that early in the game, it could still come back. But Alexander's team is so... I mean, he's not out of it at all, but he's in a big hole. He didn't really get much, because he weakened Rotom, which is great. Here comes Medicham on the rocks. This is a kill. I guess he could Ice Punch on Klefki, and then switch out because he doesn't want to get T-Waved, but yeah, he's just going to sack Zard. And then go to Gengar, I assume, because Blunder has no Ghost Resist. Anyway, yeah, what I was saying is he weakened Rotom, but Rotom isn't really needed for anything. I mean, it's nice to throw into Starmie with Life Orb, I guess, but he's got Assault Vest Torn, which is kind of like, just going to come in right now. Yeah? No, I don't. Alright.
Feeling better, right?
Yeah. I did earlier. Interruption aside, so that's looking like Scarf Gengar, and I'm embarrassed I didn't think of that possibility earlier, as the rest of his team has no speed. Although a lot of players, especially from Spain, I've noticed they don't go with speed in Oris. They just, like, if they have a Klefki, like, you know, T-Wave, like, Mega Lopunny, I'm good. Scarf Gengar is pretty good. And, he U-turns out of Klefki. And he couldn't keep Gar in there because Torn could easily just throw out a knockoff. I mean, it wouldn't, like, really... I guess maybe he risks it because knockoff doesn't really do anything for him in particular. But U-turn was so much better, but... So I guess it really depends. Shadow Ball would have helped a lot. But then again, Blunder could be safe and throw out knockoff because, like, it doesn't really help him, but it also prevents him from getting fucked up by Gengar right then and there, and it annoys everything else. So, yeah, you can see why that play was made from both parties. So, Excadrill is dangerous. I'm thinking. So Klefki sometimes uses Magnetize. I think the move here is clearly Iron Head. Because Bisharp and Starmie, I mean, Starmie gets fucking rocked. And damage on Bisharp is never bad. And you've got Keldeo and a Rotom sack. So you don't want Klefki Magnet Rising and just making you miserable. You don't want Gengar switching in. You don't want Lando switching in for free. So I think Iron Head's definitely the move. Hell, Spin could be the move because Gengar is the best shot at a late game sweep, I think. Even though I'm not really seeing how he gets there, but I just don't think Gengar is worth risking at this point at all, especially when Iron Head has such a clear move, so I think he could also go for a Spin. But then again, he's just going to... Well, it's better for Lando to set up rocks and give Keldeo a free switch. Keldeo murders something every time too because the Starmie is frail and offensive. No, he's just going to go for spikes. I did not consider that option. I mean, it's nice, but ballsy. But Spikes doesn't really do anything because Rotom, Medicham. I don't think Spike Layer is going to make a difference if you kill that or not. I don't think it's still healthy enough to the point where you're not really scrapping for every percent you can get on it being forced out. Clef, whatever. Keldeo, same as Medicham. Exca, kind of the same as Medicham. Torn, unaffected. So, I mean, it was good, and he did something while scouting the move, so that's cool. But while not using Magnet Rise on Ironhead, so fair, it worked out. Starmie's frail now and in Tornadus range for another U-turn and regeneration. I think he goes Lando for helmet. No, he goes Klefki. That gets knocked off. Maybe he was trying to remove the helmet from Lando. U-turn might not have killed Starmie from, it's what, 42? 46. Let's find out. Okay, yeah, it might not have. It was a roll, but oh, that's hasty Torn. Yeah, timid. Like it. Yeah, okay, that fair then. Definitely better. Knockoff also removed the possibility of Gengar switching in on U-turn, and that would be the counter switching out of the Pokemon it's trying to counter, which can cause some awkward situations if it gets pulled off. So, Klefki's coming in threatening T-Wave. And now with the extra layers of spikes, because it can get 2, unless Torn Heat Waves it. It can get 2 if it uses it on the switch, meaning it would be full layers, and that could be annoying. Here comes Drill. Threatening Spin. Nice move. Torn EQ, nice move. And this is HP Ice, then I don't know how I feel about Earthquake, but then again, we don't know his set, so now we see a U-turn on HP Ice. Torn is regenerating little by little. Here comes Drill once more. The Quad Rock Sweep really paying off. Lando coming, we're just going to assume Helmet Lando, I think. Ironhead does nothing, and yep, there's Helmet. So, I don't know, I just would have, we don't know his other 2 moves, but I think Knockoff may have been good. I mean, you remove Keld's, I mean, you're still damaging Keld with the hazards. Keld isn't going to switch to EQ anyway. If he goes Clef to avoid hazard damage, then removing that thing's leftovers is great. Especially when you're going to be spamming Shadow Ball and not Sludge Wave. Although if you get rid of Excadrill, then Sludge Wave does seem like the superior move to spam. If you get Medicham down low enough. So, but yeah, regardless, you would never mind Clef's lefty's gone. And U-turn was what I was going to say. Like, really, but I was just thinking maybe he doesn't have it. But U-turn is just, the best. And of course, he could be Stone Edge U-turn, and Stone Edge wouldn't be great, but in that case, just U-turning, man. Anyway, here comes Bisharp. Keldeo with some spikes down, gonna be annoying. I'm almost thinking maybe you sack Medicham and start killing things with Keldeo, because Keldeo kills, like, everything. No, not like everything. It kills everything. Or you should just go hard Keldeo on Ironhead. Not getting knocked off, that's cool. And now something dies. To Smoke Scald. So down goes the T-Wave possibility, so now Torn's happy. Sorry, I got caught up on Smogon. Okay, so Starmie's in. Oh, he's gonna sack the okay, dies to analytic life form psychic. So he recognized no, not worth messing around with this spin blocking, getting worn down by Lando shit. So he's just gonna that's gonna be a sack. So that's smart. And here comes Lando on U-turn for helmet to deny. Yup. Well, here comes another Keldeo kill. So he'll take that slight loss in health. Hi, Jade. Whoops, I still have that open. Okay, no, he's just gonna go to Medicham, so he doesn't get forced out by Starmie once more and lose health on it for Bisharp. So that's very smart. Alright, so it's very unlikely he has Bullet Punch. I've only seen Ice Punch, Bullet Punch Medicham once, and that was in SPL Finals, where it actually worked, which was, amazing. But, it's cool. Medicham's fucking ridiculous. Anyway, do you guys know anyways is not a word? If you use anyways, you are bad at English. Stop. So, with Mega Venusaur being really rare, then Ice Punch over Zenhebit is just nice, especially when you consider how high jump he fucking crushes Clefable. So, that said, he is going to have to make a choice against this Medicham, or against this Gengar. But let's see, it's late enough in the game to where I can see it for the next couple of turns. So let's assume Medicham goes down, Shadow Ball. When Torn comes in, Torn is going to, be at 60 something, a little over 60, so 63-ish. And knock off. Now, he could remove Bisharp's item, but then Bisharp is still in a really nasty Sucker Punch. Oh, he Sludge Waves. Well, that doesn't really change much. But Gengar is threatening, so he's not staying in with Gengar. That is guaranteed. Absolutely guaranteed. He cannot let that go. And Keldeo is in range too. I think he actually might sacrifice Starmie. I think so because he's got Gengar to threaten out Keldeo now, and every time Gengar's in, and he doesn't want to risk any U-turn out of Bisharp into Keldeo shit. But if he lets Starmie go to a U-turn, then Blunder goes to Clefable because it's useless. And someone in the chat said Healing Wish Clefable, which I'm not sure on, but depending on its set, if it lets Bisharp get a free Swords Dance, that's not good. It didn't show Life Orb, so Black Glasses or Lumberry. I would be wary of Lumberry because it's more dangerous. He does sack Starmie for that reason, and he takes a knockoff. So now we're in the Bisharp versus Torn situation, but with Starmie dead, which, is appreciated, but Bisharp still has its item, and it's going to be threatening with Sucker Punch. And if Torn eats this Sucker Punch, then Keldeo, I think, let's go to the damage calc. I love Adamant Bisharp, people don't use it. Most of the time. It's not Life Orb, so Keldeo, Choice Specs, Secret Sword kills 3 Bisharps. Black Glasses, +2. Sucker Punch would kill Keldeo. Hell, it would kill it from there. So, Jolly Black Glasses is well, no, that'll kill after hazards. Jolly No Black Glasses is still probably killing after hazards. If it's Superpower, and Bisharp just dies on Swords Dance. If it Sucker Punches on a switch to Keldeo, then that's gone. Then the game is over. So, let's count versus Torn, actually. Because, whoops, that's not. Max HP, just regular. So, wow, he's going to be doing 50 minimum. And then he's going to Sludge Wave like hell. Hasn't moved yet. Okay, I can keep calcing. So, that's Jolly. So, Life Orb, let's remove that. Assault Vest. Yeah, so he could, if it's Jolly, non-black glasses, then he could do that and then regenerate enough to live a Sludge Wave. The Sludge Wave is killing Keldeo. So, it depends on his Torn set. If he has Superpower, well, it also depends on the Bisharp set. I do not think it's a Superpower. I think it's Heat Wave, which does not kill. But, and that's really all that matters. Well, no, I guess because if it, I think he Swords Dances no matter what, because if he Swords Dances and Blunder does not have Superpower, Bisharp wins. Straight up. I don't think he can PP stall Sucker Punch 8 times. Between Keldeo and Torn, because against Clef, then it's Iron Head. So he does. It's Hurricane. Excuse me, it was Lumberry. So Blunder recognized that he had to get some odds. Well, now Alexander has to use so the last is HP Ice. Okay. So I think he just Hurricanes again. And Alexander 100% Swords Dances. If Bold... Okay, if Clef is Bold, then... Okay, no, it cannot live. Absolutely no way. Yeah, no, I don't know what I was smoking. So... So I see Alexander went for her Sucker Punch, knowing that saying okay because that's smart actually, because if Gengar uh-oh. Wonder why he didn't Sucker again. Can Clef live a Sludge Wave? I think it can. Yeah, it can. And if it's Thunder Wave, well, I don't know if it can do anything about it, is the thing. Well, earlier, I think you said, okay, I'm going to Sucker Punch because if he doesn't have Superpower, I can still, fuck him up. And if he does, then I can still try and win with Gengar. So, I don't know if Blunder should have taken that into account or not. It's a hard thing to take into account. Iron Head. Healing Wish. Uh-oh. It was Healing Wish. Well, can Sucker Punch plus Sludge Wave kill? We're about to find out. I'm not even going to go to the calc. I'm going to do that after. Actually, if it's T-Bolt, then that... Well, then it doesn't matter. Alexander says 52 minimum. And it does. We're going to game 3. That was tight. Ugh. It was a game of rolls at the end with Sucker Punch plus Sludge Wave. So we're gonna see black and white. All right, here we go for game 3. Alex is using. Let's fix these fucking sprites really quick. Alex is using a Finchinator Rain team, and Blunder is using a team of mine that I gave him, so I will be able to give first-person perspective on this shit. I think it's one of my cooler teams. The idea is Gara is cool because it gives a second Intimidate with Lando, it gives a second Keldeo check with Latios. So that works in a lot of really flexible, dangerous ways, opening both of them up. Alex does have Excadrill for the whatchamacallits, for the sand, but Blunder has a Shuka Jirachi and a really dangerous Landers. Landers is actually is really dangerous if it sets up. When so if he goes on the offensive, he should be fine. And Latios leads off against Politoed. With the two steals being an offensive Excadrill and Pharaoh, Draco is going to be threatening. Of course, it's going to do a lot to Pharaoh, but I think I thought Blunder also has a Scarf Mienshao, which I think I would have led with because it does like really well against everything, and like it just U-turns. That's why it's so great. Like Pharaoh scared out it scares out everything except Reuniclus, who you're just going to U-turn on and get rocks with, and Toxic, you just U-turn on and go to Jirachi, get Gyarados actually, and the Gyarados is dangerous, very dangerous. So I think I don't know what set Finchinator runs on this Politoed. I would assume Scarf because the team is quite slow outside of that, outside of Torn, and that's only 353. So he's going to go to Tyranitar, absorb a Hypnosis, or an Ice Beam. He gets Hydroed. It is a bulky banned Tyranitar though, so he does not tank that much, and Scarf Toad is very weak, so now he goes to Jirachi, he's going to get up some rocks. Alexander just fearlessly going for Hydro Pump, and he misses the third. So, Jirachi would like to keep his health with Shuka. Alexander's he's just throwing his Politoed away. I think he's saying, well, I have Exca, and that's probably going to fuck him up in the sand, so, big deal. I think Blunder should, yep, he's going to set up with Gyarados now. And I think that is definitely the move. Yeah, I was preoccupied with Smog Tours because someone in the chat said, "What if this is Natural Gift Fire?" Which has never been revealed on this Gyarados before. This is the first time that it has ever been used in a tournament game. I've never even used it in a test. And someone in the chat said, "What if it's Natural Gift Fire?" And you know what I use? I use Ground Gem. That's what I use most of the time. I was like, you know what, Natural Gift Fire is better. So, yeah, Politoed goes down, and here's Pharaoh to wall Gyarados. So, although in rain, +2 waterfall is going to still do a lot, but it doesn't really help anything else. Oh, bounce. That's also going to chunk it like hell, because this is not protect. That does a lot of damage. And he gets the 30% para, Power Whip. He's +2, so actually this is going to be threatening too. I'm pretty sure it's offensive Toxicroak, so it's a Sucker Punch is probably going to kill. So that's going to be uncomfortable. Blunder can avoid that if he wants, though. I think he's probably going to want to keep Tyranitar out of the game as much as possible, just to deal with as little bullshit as he can. Whoops, that's black and white. Anyway, yeah, unfortunately, that did not pan out. But Sucker does 40 minimum. Oh, that's adamant, I guess. And the Gyarados does have a little bit of bulk. I forget exactly how much, but I'm just putting in a random number. It could be this, for all I know. So it's likely to kill. Oh, with Iron Barbs, then it definitely kills. Forgot that. So, actually, if Lando sets up, it can't set up on Toxic Rook because of Ice Punch. But if Lando sets up, then it'll... Well, it's a Trick Room Uniclus, but... If it sets up at good health... Granted, that is going to be tough to come by, but... Nope, he's going to go Latios on Sucker. And he... Oh, it's a Sub-Croak. I guess he changed that. Sucker... Wow, that killed? Oh, it's Life Orb. Uh-oh. Well, okay, well that's kind of dangerous. Alright, he's gonna cut it off, but, he even... So, I'm gonna assume it's Focus Punch last, so... Actually, he could Intimidate twice. And then try and set up with Lando? Yeah, that's fucking stupid. Well, not to take away from Alexander, but that is really, really dumb. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the analysis otherwise, and I will catch you next time.